Hey Tim, look at this.
Needs work.
Hey Tim, how about this?
Still needs work.
Darn it. How about this?
Nice, high five.
Hey there everybody, how's it going?
My name's Tim.
And my name's Michael.
And you're watching the TMI show.
That's a Tim and Michael information show. And today, it's book review!
Ta-da!
Boom! I wish we could get a title. So I guess we could get a title swooping across.
Zoo!
There it goes. And so Tim talked to me the other day, and well, I'm going to go back even further beyond that.
This dates back a while.
The moment I met Tim, I got this immediate impression that he was kind of an art book junkie.
Is it that bad?
Dude, are you kidding? Every time I see an art book now, it's like, I wonder if Tim has that or not. I'm like, I know Tim has that one because he showed me that one.
Probably.
And I mean, it's not such a bad thing to be a junkie with certain things like that. I mean, I'm a DVD junkie, and a special edition junkie. I really am. But Tim told me the other day, hey, let's do a little review. So I'm excited to see what you have.
We should
let's
just
get straight into
about our
favorite
art books. So yeah, like Michael said, I love art books. It's really bad. I remember going up to Imaginarium once with one of my buddies, and we went into the company store there, and right there in the door, they had a big display of art books and a sign that said 40% off. The first thing I said was, I am losing so much money today.
So as you pull this first one up, we're going to do the brief introduction for maybe anybody who doesn't know what is an art book. Every once in a while, a company or production will decide to put together a nice little collection or compilation of all of the pre-production and behind-the-scenes stuff in a book. Before the days of DVDs and before the days of special features, we had these. And right now, what you're looking at,
Finding Nemo.
Oh, wow. I have not seen this one.
This is a really great one. So Finding Nemo is my favorite Pixar film. I love it to death. This was also my first art book, believe it or not.
That's the first
picked it up
one.
on a whim, yeah.
This is the one that got you hooked. Where's the dealer that did it to you? And who do we have to thank?
I picked it up in a back alley in New York. But anyway, no, this is actually one of my favorites. It's like Michael said, these are often books that are put out to accompany a feature film to show the production artwork, the concept artwork that went into the making. And often these days, all that work is done digitally. It's done on the computer, it's cheap, it's quick, it's fast. This is one of those books that was put out before computers were really mainstream in the pre-production art process. So if you open it up and flip through, you'll see there's a lot of traditionally done artwork.
Oh, even the nice back spine too, and everything too. So, dude.
So there's still a lot of pencil work in there. Pencil work on that side. Keep going. I want to get to one of the pastels here.
Yeah.
What really makes this one of my favorite books is the pastel works that Ralph Eggleston did. Like that's one of them right there. This is what separates this from traditional computer artwork. This was all done with the chalk pastel on a specially toothed paper, and you can see all the little textures in there where the chalk hit the paper. I mean, it's just beautiful. Yeah, you could do that on a computer, but my gosh, there's a richness to that.
And not that we're not going to zoom in for you, but we want you to get the book.
You should. Amazon always puts them up for a great price. Check it out.
Dude.
So for that reason, this remains one of my favorites. The artwork is simply stunning, as you can tell, because Michael's now sucked into it and not even.
We're looking at some character design here.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
Definitely.
It looks like an expression sheet.
Yeah. For all the ranges of Dory, she's probably speaking whale for a lot of this.
This is great. It's funny too because you look at some things in here and you're like, who is that? You know, I mean, even the most preliminary things. Again, as we're getting into the concept of the art book and what it is that draws you in, you can see the person's process. Even don't you just want to put that on your wall or something? So. Gosh, this is great. Well, what else do you have?
Yeah, well, let's keep going. So another book in the vein of concept development and visual development is a book that was put out by Art Center, I believe, called The Skillful Huntsman.
Ooh.
So this is actually kind of a response to the art books like Finding Nemo. Scott Robertson, who works at Art Center, put this book together because he was always frustrated that the feature film art books that were often put out showed the final artwork and not the early concept work that goes into it. So
very nice.
Right off the bat, they talk about a lot of the thumbnail sketches that they go into designing the characters and whatnot and all the steps. I mean, this is stuff you don't usually see in an art book for a feature film. They skip all of that and show the nice polished final work.
How did you hear about this book?
I believe I heard about it from, actually, Brian.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I saw Jim bring it in.
Okay,
to
might have
class,
been there too.
You know, because and it's just how revolutionary this kind of is and how important this book is for us that our instructors have been showing it to us. You know, it's one of the things, and then now we're going out and getting it ourselves. I can't recommend this enough. I really can't. Like you were talking about all those thumbnail stages and everything, and this flip it even on the back. Silhouettes, another thing too. For any of you that go into preliminary work and you see people do this book is another one of those huge like, oh, light bulbs. Like you start to get it.
Really
wow, I'm getting this.
You should. It's definitely great. It's for those of you who want to go into concept design, concept development. This shows you all the little hidden stages that you don't normally see in other books that get you to those final character designs, final concept developments, final illustrations, what have you. I've actually been doing some concept work myself recently for my own project. I'm doing a little glider, and I kind of got stuck, and I'm like, this isn't where I want it, and I don't know where to take it. And flipping through this book and looking at what they did, looking at some of the ideas that the students in here had, really helped me come up with some different ideas and push my work further. So again, if that's what you want to do, great place to go.
Awesome. And number 3.
Yes. Now this is almost an everything book. This is Myth and Magic by John Howe. It is not an art book for a feature film, but it's close. John Howe is an illustrator who's done a lot of work for Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, the other work of J.R.R. Tolkien. He's done a lot of fantasy on the side, of course, but his Lord of the Rings Tolkien work is so prominent that when Peter Jackson sat down to do the first Lord of the Rings films, he brought John Howe on board to be a principal designer, I believe, for those films. So now a lot of his work is featured in the Lord of the Rings books, the Hobbit books now, and so forth. This is just a really, really great piece of work that chronicles a lot of his book illustrations, again, for Lord of the Rings and for others. And the illustrations are just absolutely
These are
rich.
so, ooh, dude, yeah, wow.
So that's for The Hobbit, of course, and again, you got to go out and buy the book yourself.
So you want to talk about your range of color and even your...
Yeah, no kidding.
And do we have what's a black and white sketch out there to the left of it?
I think that's a preliminary where he was maybe, again, going into that concept development and exploring what Smaug might look like.
Again, one of the best things about these art books.
That illustration.
Yeah, you've seen all of that pre-work of, so before they even did, they don't just dive into these huge things. There's stuff that really happens before it.
Which is so important to remember, because I think especially as a student, you see stuff like that, and you go, oh wow, I don't even know where to start for that, and you kind of dive in and get a little bit lost. So it's really important to see that other people are not just jumping in. The pros got to go through that development process too, and build up their work.
Awesome.
So, again, great book. Not as great for concept development. A lot of this is final pieces.
We'll talk about good stuff,
but
though.
They are so terrific. This is one of my favorites, and I can't believe I got it for $10 off the bargain rack in Barnes & Noble. One of my favorites to this day. So, yeah, those are my 3.
Well, I suppose it's my turn then.
Yeah, you've got a few yourself.
Well, it's funny because as you asked me, when you said, we can share our art books, I started thinking about, well, I do have a couple, but then if I show them all, then I'll be done in an episode if we ever want to do this again. But then I had another idea. And because I want to get into video games and I would love to do voice work or even motion cap or storyboarding, I would eventually love to be a writer and direct a game one day. I just want to do everything, and help with a production and head a production one of these days. I'm a bit of a gamer, and also I'm a bit of a Bat fan, and so I wanted to start with our special edition of Batman Arkham Asylum.
It's a chubby Batarang.
It is a chubby Batarang.
But it's a very cool one.
I was not expecting this, and it's funny because a little bit of history, we had a little bit of not so great Batman games come out in the past. None of them just ever sang. The Lego Batman game was great, but as far as just being Batman, because people were saying, well, it's good because it's Lego, not because it's Batman, but then Arkham Asylum was our answer. It's just so black. And if we're actually talking about design, it's funny because, back in the days of Nintendo, just the regular NES, a special edition was that your cartridge was gold. Like the Zelda edition.
There
Ooh,
you
it's a
go.
special edition. You know, it's a
Yowza.
gold. That's what you got. We're in a new age, and I don't even know where we're gonna go after this. But
Look at this package, though. This is
this is
unique.
designed. So this actually opens up. It doesn't really stay up or anything, and I'm sure you find other things online that'll do all the crazy detail stuff. So I'm just gonna run you through, what I can. This actually is the display batarang that comes out of it. So if you want to, you can put that on your desk.
There you go.
And then you're like, oh, and that would
keep this in case of emergencies.
Yeah, right. It's even scuffed up and everything.
Wow.
And then it came with this nice little packaging that would like holster onto that. Now then on the inside, beyond that, you actually have the game itself, and this was the special packaging for that game. And if you were to take it out, you were to look at it.
Gosh.
It actually looks like a nice little.
I don't even game, and I'm impressed by this.
Yeah, it's actually a book. It says Dr. P. Young's Penelope. It's actually a character in the game, and if you were to look on the inside, these are tapes.
Wow.
And if you were to play the game, you would know what those are. So when you first initially look at it, you're like, I don't necessarily know what that is. Our little booklet that's got the Joker, card on there. And we have a truck backing up. What's happening?
I think so. Oh, those interns are moving the forklift again. I told them not to play on.
That's okay.
Oh, gosh.
Comes with a sticker, and another thing, and this is what I was kind of thinking about when you asked Tim, was this. Now this is a little dossier.
Your diary?
No, it is not. I wish my diary looked this
No
awesome.
kidding.
And what actually happens is it, the little leather band wraps around the 2 Arkham symbols. And what we're looking at here is the files.
Oh.
The files that actually come with each patient. So if you were to go through, you're going to look and open, and then you see patient work, and it's as if you were looking through, the files of Arkham. But these are actually concept designs.
Mm-hmm.
These are actually
these are
what they drew up while they were trying to figure out what these characters would look like for the game. So there's that, and I was
Cool.
really impressed with how they put that
We had to
together.
dig for that one.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We don't have to dig so much for this one. This was the second game. This was the sequel.
Wow.
This was Batman Arkham City.
You just have a lot of stuff to put on your desk, don't you?
Oh, dude. After taking these 2 off, it's amazing how free. I was like, wow, half of that is Batman, is what it is.
Man, you should see my desk.
So actually, go ahead and hold your hand out, and I'll just hold the bottom, and I'll show you why.
Doing a magic
So,
trick?
well, a little bit,
Don't
because
bring that pencil.
it had a nice packaging, and then there's a Joker on the side, and then the Batman on the other. And if you were to lift this guy up, then it kind of did this thing, and it folds out,
I want to drop them.
So yeah, it's amazing. And so what we're looking at here is it actually has the Batman figure. This is one of the best sculpts I've ever talked. If you want to talk about figure molding and everything, I mean, these are sharp.
Those cheekbones.
Oh, I mean, the muscles and everything. I mean, it's a fabulous sculpt. It's one of the best Batman sculpts I've ever had, and it's part of a game of all things. Now,
This is if you will, a freebie.
and so, what comes in here was a lot of stuff. If you guys have not seen, oh shucks, and there goes the DVD.
Oh darn.
No, well, that happens. Batman Gotham Knight. If you guys have seen the Animatrix, where they kind of do different artists that all put together one sort of story. This is it. And it came with a bunch of the DLC for extra costumes and the album and different skins and Catwoman. But this, where's the game? Oh, here it is. So you can go ahead and set this guy down now, just right off to the side. Now, this was one of the first times I'd ever seen this. And again, the normal booklets that like to come inside, and the game. But here was the actual game for Batman Arkham City. And if you were to open it, what we find is a mini art book.
Wow.
And it actually
nicely bound art book too.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. This is just as like one of your hard books.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my goodness, with a little preface from some of the designers and more of the of looking through and then all of your kind of preliminary. I mean, it's got environmental sketches, it's got character sketches, and
variations.
Oh, it goes through everything. And at the very end of the book is the game,
dude.
And that's where the disc is.
Man, I wish my art books came with it. Wow.
Well, if you get a game, and wrapping things up, because as some of you know, at least at the point that we've released this video, they came out with another game, and that is Batman Arkham Origins.
Oh, it's Christmas. Look at that.
It is Christmas.
It
really is. And so I actually ordered this. It came to me in the mail for the collector's edition. And by the way, if you wanted these, you have to be a kind of crazy hardcore fan because you wanted to be able to. Yeah, just a little bit, you know. And so I was really impressed. And even though there was a different developer on board for this one, so that came up, and then this happens.
I miss getting these really big boxes at Christmas, by the way. You always knew there was something good inside.
Right, you know, so...
And I'm sure you have something good to show us here.
Oh, you have no idea. It really, really is. So... Now, if you guys are fans of GameStop, I know I am. So if you were standing in line during the midnight release, you would have. They were handing out these posters. That on the front is actually the Arkham Origins poster, but on the back is Blackgate, which is actually the Vita handheld, which are actually releasing on the arcade. It's a story that happens after this game happens, after Arkham Origins happens. So it's all part of the same universe. What do we have here? So these are all. This is all art propaganda, is what it is. This is all stuff from the game that you're looking at. You know, it's got schematics, it's got blueprints. This is all a secret dossier that I'm not going to open up right now. This is Black Mask's contracts, you know, that he's made with people, you know, to take out the bats. It also comes with a chip from the Penguin. It's from his Iceberg Lounge, and it comes with a tooth or a claw or something. We don't know what it is.
That's creepy.
Comes with Necessary Evil, which is, you know, another one of the DVDs that they release, and this is the game itself. It's funny. I don't mean to criticize, but this is a standard Xbox 360 case, and there is a steelbook out there, and the steelbooks are not, the dimensions are like millimeters off from this. So, I mean, I'm kind of bummed that the other two have such a cool packaging, and this is just kind of the standard.
Here's your game.
But, you know, not that I should be complaining.
Yeah,
and
you really shouldn't.
And what is here? On Art Book. And this is what really made me think. I said, if I'm going to bring this in, then I may as well bring all the others in, because this is my first really dedicated art book. Oh, and it comes with a picture of the Wayne family. Gosh. And, you know, so if you want to hold one end, you know, again, it's the same sort of deal. It comes with a nice little preface from the designers, the head guys, and it's all of this concept art that goes through...
A lot of environments this time around.
A lot of environments, and there is some characters, so don't get, you know, too discouraged, but they get even more in-depth about it. I haven't even finished this thing yet, so I guess if everyone's wondering, well, what the heck is in the rest of the box, then I will quickly show you there.
Is it a body?
It's a couple, you know, so
oh my goodness.
Go ahead and just set this down, and I'll show everybody what that is. So if you wanted to really display anything else, this was what came with it. As I'm trying to center it off and show everybody what it looks like. That's the Joker, if you know. And actually, there's TV antennas that are in there, that are down there that I actually can plug into these later on.
I was going to say, I wonder if anything good is on.
Well, on the TV?
Yeah.
How about that?
Gosh.
All the villains hired for the contract. And you want to talk about, again, impeccable sculpts. It just takes it, you know, out of blows everything else out of the water. So I know my art books aren't quite as dedicated, at least the last one was. Not quite as dedicated as yours, but
well, they come with a lot of goodies though, and that's and it's almost more special in a way.
Well,
it is more special
when you're buying the game. I think the equivalent would be if you would have bought the DVD for Finding Nemo, and it would have came with that book, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, you can get that. You just bought them separately, so you have your movie, and then you have your book, and if you want to throw in any other special sculpt figure in there, I guess you can go and look online and, you know, look at all this junk that I'm going to be moving out of the way.
I know, right? Of course, it's one thing when it all comes together. I mean, yes, you can buy them separately, but this is a love letter to the Batman fans. If Batman fans send each other love letters, I don't know, but that's what it looks like.
I'm going to quote you on that from now on.
You are?
I really, really think it is, because this is a love letter from fans to fans, because it's one thing when you can see something that's made by a fan, and I think for those of us who put these sorts of books together, I would love to be part of a team one day that puts an art book together to show all of our preliminary stuff, because that's all we are, isn't it? We're fans. We're fans of things, and we want to enjoy it with other fans. And so these are kind of nice little love letters from everyone saying, we love this. We absolutely love this, and if you love it the way that we love it, let's share a little piece of this behind the scenes magic. This is our little love letter. This is our little gift to you, as it were.
Not just a love letter to fans, but artists too.
Yeah.
You know, you have both polished artwork in here and the preliminary stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The preliminary stuff isn't nearly as fancy, but it is so neat to look through and just see all those loose pencil sketches and those marks and little imperfections that hang out there with the core idea that will eventually transform into that magnificent butterfly of a final piece.
And it gets you excited, doesn't it? Even though you're still working on your art and you're still drawing and you're still sketching or you're still sculpting or you're still painting or you're still modeling, whatever it is, you look at this stuff. I do all the time, and I go back. I don't just keep it in the box. I'm constantly opening things and putting it back in, and I just keep going. Wow, gosh, wow! Look at this stuff. It just gets me excited, you know. And the fact that each has their own design, and you know, people put it together. I'm just like, gosh, it's kind of chasing something, you know. This dragon, proverbially. Again, I'm not as good as that person, but I can try. Well,
absolutely.
We wanted to thank you for our first book review day that we had here on TMI, and we hope and encourage you that if ever you can, find one, and don't just get one that you think, oh, this might be something interesting. Get the one that sings to you. Let the book choose you. You know, I mean,
why not?
Yeah. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Keep reading. Hey guys, if you would like to send a question, a comment, or a thank you note to Michael or myself, you can reach us at tmi.art.productions@gmail.com.
I'm Batman.